guys, welcome back to the channel. And it is moving day. We are heading up north for another bass tournament, Saturday and Sunday event. And needless to say, the wind is not, or the weather is not cooperating. We actually already drove up and fished today, and we've had 40-mile-an-hour winds the first day, and we got another 30-35 today. So it's gonna be pretty brutal, especially not having that much knowledge on this pool. We're gonna have to be real careful going into some new water and stuff like that. That way we know for sure we can see and scan safely. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. But we're gonna go out and see what we can find. There's been a lot of pressure on this pool so far this year, so hopefully we can come across a good school and get lucky. But we decided to come up a day even earlier this time, being the fact that after that last tournament that we placed second in, we realized we were sitting in about 5th for points. It'd be tough for us to win points, but it's fishing, you guys know that anything can happen. So we wanted to give ourselves the best chance we can. So yeah, going out for day number 2 now, and see if we can't blow away. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and hopefully the next thing you guys see is us reeling in some nice fish. Northern? Ain't a bass.
It was like a bass. Yes, northern to answer your question. I wasn't really looking. I was trying to figure out what my frog was. He's skinny.
I can call it before too.
Another one. Something just blew up. I just got hammered. Oh, Jesus. There's no way that's a bass. Yep. I just knew there was no way that was a... That one didn't hit it like the other ones did, though.
A lot different.
Yeah. He was kind of like one hit and then done. The other ones were like bam, 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 and then done.
Good God. Yeah. Be close to 14.
There was one. I wouldn't get too excited. It's like my random blow-ups I've had throughout this whole damn thing, but it's always one. He's very wide, but he's very short. Just everything is fucking irritating me at the moment. Hey, double up.
I think yours would eat mine.
Mine's really, really, really fat. The bad part was I took my backlash out, and by the time I got back to where my line was tight, he was already eating it. Look at his stomach. But they ain't long enough. That's the bad part, is I was just trying to get my backlash out. I got close to where it was tight and I could feel him thumping.
Small Joe. I like catching you guys. Well, I thought my Texas rig was just floating down river. Evidently it was not, just floating. Don't worry, he got me back. He put the hook right in my thumb. Yeah. Alright guys, well the clips you guys actually just saw were our pre-fishing videos. And for this tournament we actually decided to go up on a Tuesday. That way we could pre-fish Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because it's a pool we don't have a whole lot of experience on. So we only had a few spots that we were able to check that we found fish in the past years. But as you guys could see and hear from the video, it was absolutely miserable. The first day of pre-fishing we had 40-mile-an-hour winds, and we literally only pre-fished one bank because anywhere else was difficult to even get to, position the boat, anything. Because, I mean, we were literally, it was like fishing on Lake Erie with the way the waves were. So, that took us into day two. Day two wasn't any better for pre-fishing. We tried to touch a little bit more water that we hadn't touched just to look at. But we still had 35-mile-an-hour winds all day that day as well. And then going into the third day, we kind of saved the best stuff that we could see from like a map or just cruising around just to see what we could find. So the third day we actually went out, looked around, went into one spot, and we knew we had, if we could get the fish to bite and have good weather and good wind, we knew we could catch about 15 pounds in that spot. And that was just from like trolling through and looking through the water and seeing the fish that were moving around chasing bait. And then we were actually able to find one other spot that we had like 3 bites within 2 minutes. We landed one that was a keeper. So we knew there was quantity of fish there, we just didn't know the exact quality. And a lot of the reason we weren't able to really pick through and try and figure it out was, as we were out there doing that, I started to notice that our batteries for our trolling motor were getting super, super low. So, of course, you know, being on the very last day of pre-fishing, this is when this stuff happened. So after we got done fishing and went back to the Airbnb, we called around to a couple different places to see Well, actually, we went back to try and diagnose and figure out what it was. Well, come to find out it was our onboard charger taking a crap on us. So after we figured that out, we're like, okay, there's a few boat shops up here. We'll call around, see if we can find somebody that's got one. And lo and behold, nobody had them. Which is what it is when it comes to that, just being the fact of we want to make sure we get what we want and something that's going to be a reliable product. So we didn't end up pulling the trigger on that. All we did was we went to a hardware store and ended up buying another battery charger. So we were charging the cranking battery, and then we were flip-flopping chargers on the trolling motor batteries. That way everything was charged up and ready to go. So what you guys just saw was all pre-fishing, and now we'll roll into day one. The reason I'm combining these, just so you guys have a heads up, is day one was absolutely horrible, and you guys are about to see that here in a minute on why. So make sure you guys stay tuned for it and enjoy them clips. Check your knot. Oh my God. Keep catching these, we're gonna be leaving.
Really? Do you have your bobber stop up again? Okay. Yes. There was not enough notice for me to get the nut. I seen the nut.
Hey, at least we found some bass.
Well, right. Starting to think they didn't exist. Hang on. Oh, no. I was starting to think they didn't exist. Yeah, maybe. He took off running. The only way I knew I had a fish was because my line was going that way. God damn. I was casting straight up, just so you know.
Hey, don't put the measuring board inside the net.
Sorry. Sit. Sit. 13 inches.
Sorry, I thought you were still out. Yeah. Nope. We cannot escape these little today. Just can't get rid of them. I thought it was a good one finally.
I don't know. Just go over me, it don't matter. Looks like we might be out a touch further than we were the other last time, but I don't know. He bit it at the damn boat. So he bit it at the boat.
I won't come up for the jerk bait though. That's a fish. That's a good one. Never mind, he's not great. He looked bigger when he first came up. That bass boat literally had to come off plane because that guy cut him off with the tubers.
I'm pretty sure that's keeper number 1. He bit it at the boat though, so I just kind of, and it was running at the boat. Are you shitting me?
Sit.
We'll have to check him. Barely.
Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I apologize, there wasn't a whole lot of fish catching going on, wasn't a lot of bass being caught, so on and so forth. But this wind, I ain't got it figured out how to fish in it. I know the guys that we actually stayed with have been fishing a very, very long time, and they even said it was absolutely miserable. It's hard to fish in. You can't position the boat how you want to position it. It's hard to actually break down areas when you're pulling into fish and trying to figure out, you know, where your weed lines are, where your rock bottom comes down and stops, and all that fun stuff. So it just didn't go well. So the first day after our last day of pre-fishing, we ended up having, I think it was like 20 to 22 mile an hour winds. So it was still fairly windy, but it was manageable. And then once we got done with that, looked into the forecast, we saw that the first day was going to be windy again. So all Alicia and I could do was just sit down and go, you know what? We know where spots are there's fish at. We just got to try and figure it out and see if we can get the boat positioned right and actually get these fish to bite. So we threw everything that was fishable at them, and nothing was happening. So we actually went to the second spot where we knew there was quantity of fish, and I still bet we still probably caught 20 fish there. But it was so hard to film and fish because it was a south wind, so it was blowing straight up that section of the river. It was a main river area that we were fishing. So again, it was just like being on Lake Erie. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I about fell out of the boat trying to run the trolling motor because we'd come up, the trolling motor and everything be out of the water and come slam back down in the water. So made it pretty tough to fish. Luckily, Alicia was able to pull one out for us, and that fish ended up weighing 173. So, 1 3/4 pounds, which, I mean, yeah, it's not big, but when you only got one in the boat, you got to make do with what you got. So, I don't want to give you guys a spoiler alert, but make sure you stay tuned for next week's video because it's day number 2 of this tournament, and things went our way and we got the weather we needed. So that's all I'm going to tell you on that. Make sure you guys check back in next week to see that video because it's going to be a pretty good one. So anyways, guys, thanks for your support. Thanks for following along with us. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Drop a comment down below. That way we can interact with you guys because you guys are the sole foundation of this channel. So yeah, I guess I'll leave you off there. Like I said in the beginning, I apologize for it not being that great of a video, but this was kind of our ordeal. We wanted to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's just how this tournament went. So Thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you in the next episode.